Enter the dragon blood. Sorry. I was goofing around for no reason other than me goofing around. Well, time for the little game I always play. Time to check my audio. Because I'm a professional. Yep. Good. All is good. Good. Everything is good. Audio wise. Excuse the noise outside. The window's open. It's not like hot here, but I like the breeze from the outside and yada yada yada. And well, people love fireworks in Connecticut, I guess. I'm gonna blow up some. And apparently part of Bridgeport is exploding, and that's why you hear a whole bunch of ambulances. Who knows? Anyway, welcome. Welcome one, welcome all to my show. Today we're gonna be brief because it really is just a very brief little like thing, important thing. First of all, I completely forgot. Happy Father's Day, daddies and mummies who have to do daddy's work because daddy isn't there, and anybody in between. And we dive in. This week's episode was it wasn't terrible. It's not why I'm going. It was more like Jesus. It's kind of hard dealing with mental, like this episode dealt like with mental illness and it's just sad. It was a sad episode. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that shit. So last week we left off. He paid his debt and he wanted to do a whole bunch of other stuff, and he paid his debt, and they're planting you the eventual relationship between him and Isabella Camille, which is the original girl, but they changed the names to either not to get sued, probably not to get sued, because I'm pretty sure that's basically all that is. What else was last week? The melodramatic reveal of like what happened with the mother. Well, what they suppose. Well, we continue from there, and we talk like Luis hires a private investigator. He hires a private investigator to find his mother. So last week we went with the theory that everybody on the internet thinks that the mother's dead, that the father killed her. In a way, that could be true. I also kind of believe this too, so it's not like I'm dispelling this story. Then there's a theory that this week we tackle a theory that I always heard more than the other theory, which we'll get into. So he hires a private investigator. She wants to talk to the father, because obviously he was the last person to see her alive, or the last person to see her blank. And there was like a huge runaround with the family members. So, like they either don't know because they haven't seen her. They guess that she's dead. So he wants clear fucking answers. And we flash back to when he was smaller. And there we see him struggling again for his voice. He can't, because obviously when you're going through the prepubescence, you're going through a change. Especially men, their voices change. They're no longer, like Justin Bieber went through his voice change. He even like I ain't gonna change my voice. My voice gonna sound the same. But he went through that voice change, and it was a very public thing and kind of sad. Like, he was a child, and of course he thought everything was gonna be fine because he doesn't understand. Like, you don't understand what happens like to your body when you're growing. So basically, that's what it is. Also, Luis had the problem that the father was overworking him to make money off of his body, basically. Um, so he wouldn't let like the doctors, like we went through that last week. The doctors told him to rest his voice for a year, and he doesn't want to do that. His solution to the problem was just rape the boy with an older woman. That will fix everything. Don't worry that those sirens aren't for me. If you can hear them. Um. Better. So yeah. He hired a hooker, a mulata as they call them, and there you go. He saw a child get raped last week. That wasn't fun for me. Um. Then this week, his other solution is just to like just force it out. Like, you will sing, you'll be fine. It's a thing of confidence. Because he couldn't sing, he made a deal with the people making a movie. He was making a movie during this time. I think it was a famous movie back then. With another Mexican singer that's famous, Lucero. Um, I've never seen these movies because they never gave these movies when I was little. They did give the Trevi movies, which I loved a lot. The Gloria Trevi movies were fun for me to watch as a kid. I was a huge Gloria Trevi fan. Um, and still am, because she's a pretty fucking awesome woman. Like, get some Gloria Trevi CDs, DVDs, I mean CDs. Download her music. Sorry, I am a '90s child. Um, and CDs are cool still. Like, they have better music sound than MP3s. Um, so yeah, I was like, yeah, he was making this movie, and he can't like the father just made a compromise that he'll just dub over his he won't sing it live, which I was like, that is the normal, right? You don't sing those songs live. You just whatever in the movie, and he's having a hard time concentrating, and like the little kid actor is funny because he's kind of goofy looking. Because at least Miguel was kind of goofy looking, and I don't mean that in a mean way. Because all of us, when we're growing up, we're going through that awkward stage. We like parts of us are bigger than the rest of us. We don't have a fully shaped frame. Like, our arms are more lankier than the rest of us. We look goofy. We feel goofy. It's it isn't a slight against the poor kid. It isn't. I'm not trying to be a jerk. Um, the little boy before him, to me, had more charisma. And again, this kid has to play like the worst part of young Luis Miguel's life. Like, um, so it isn't easy. I said it was going to be brief, right? But I guess not. I guess I found some stuff to talk about. Um, so yeah, he is learning how to sing again. They have this nice little. I think because they've been making him such an evil person through this whole thing, they're trying to soften him a little bit now. Because in this scene, had like a nice little interlude with him, like they sang a song together, um, to give his like confidence back up. Um, Back to the '89, because I can't even say present because '89 was like 30, almost 30 years ago. Yikes. Um, Back to '89. He's dealing. He paid back his debt to Camille's dad, or Mr. Camillus than the if you don't know who Jaime Camille is, he's also famous Jane the Virgin. If you watch the American TV, but I know him from La. I don't like La Fama Bella, but that's where he got like his big breakout role. I like Las Tontas No Van al Cielo more. And I like a little bit. I like Los Tacones de Eva or La I guess Eva, por ella soy Eva is the Mexican version. I like the Colombian version more, but the Mexican one was okay. Camilo was silly, so there was that. I liked him. Um, though Camille kind of scares me, but that's neither here nor there, folks. Um, so yeah, he paid back his debt, and then he revealed something. Oh, I'm moving next door. Almost like a Great Gatsby kind of thing, like the green light. He's across the across the bay. He's moving in because he kind of like saw a girl, and I think they call her Eva. I think in this show. Oh, I could be wrong. Um. Uh. Hold on. I'm trying to. I don't know what I'm doing. Like that meme. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway. Um. Fuck, I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Yeah, he was moving in across the bay, and apparently Isabella Camilo has a boyfriend. And I thought for a second that was Jaime, but no, it was her boyfriend. And you can tell that the guy smells what he wants from this whole interaction, because or he was angry because he probably wanted to buy the house because he said he wanted to move there too. Um, So we all know where this is going. If you are a huge Luis Miguel fan, you know that he dated Isabella Camilo for at least 4 to 5 years. At least that's what the wiki says. Because I didn't know this. Because I was a baba. I was a baba, a wee baba, in the time frame where he was dating this woman. Um, and she's famous too because she's an actress, and I think she was a model beforehand, and now she's an actress. So, and she's the sister of Jaime and the daughter of the big billionaire. So it's not a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal. I meant to say it's not like, she's a big deal. That's what I meant to say. Um, Also, she's married to Sergio Mayer, who was from that band from the 90s and 80s, Garibaldi. There's just like this whole like 6 degrees of like 80s and 90s like Mexican pop people, which is cool. And so yeah, more links that he's going to date Isabella Camilla. Then we flash back to the 80s, and we see a very pale woman, a very defeated woman, his mother. She's struggling. She doesn't want to have the child at home. What it looks like is that she's having postpartum depression. Um, can we take out like a moment of like sadness for the poor third child? He didn't want to be like he didn't ask to be born. Apparently, the mom didn't want him to be born or couldn't deal with him, and the brothers completely ignore his existence. His father dumped him off somewhere. He was born a preemie. That poor child, which is a man. He's a man now, but that poor boy. He didn't didn't get much from life. Um, he the mom doesn't want to take him home, and the doctor says, "Well, you should take him home, and you'll get a hell of a lot better if you breastfeed him." which is hard. I'm pretty sure it's really hard for a woman with postpartum depression to breastfeed, or take care of it, like to get out of bed, to do anything. And you can, like, the actress is really good in portraying this. It's really, really sad to see a woman decay away, basically, because of the thing that she's supposedly meant to do in life, have a child, caused her the greatest grief. Um, she got a little happy because she saw her son, because she hasn't seen her son in months, probably, like weeks, probably weeks. She hasn't seen her son, and he hasn't seen her, and he wants to say, like, the father wants to exploit the son more. And he's being a little charming in this episode. I'm guessing that the actor's like, can you please, like, please not make me an awful human being for one episode. Like I said, they're trying to rehabilitate. What the hell is going on here? They're trying to rehabilitate Luisito Rey. These the actors, probably the actors, like, seriously though, you not make me look like a horrible human being. Thank you. Um, so yeah, he's I guess worried about her. Maybe, maybe not. Uh, she gives the baby to the not Consuela, Consuela, no, the sister-in-law. Uh, um, she's her sister-in-law. Yeah, she gives the baby to the sister-in-law, and the sister-in-law tries to help as much as she can. She has her own life. Then we go back to the 89, and the investigator talked to the dad. The dad talked his bullshit, like he always does. Then he moves on to the uncle and his wife, the lady that I just mentioned. And the investigator asks her a bunch of questions, and she completely contradicts the brother. And she tells him about the postpartum depression. I don't think it had a name back then. If it did have a name, it wasn't as well known as it is now. Yeah, and so the boy, and so they talk about it, and sorry, I'm trying to. Whoop. They talk about the situation. They flashback again, I suppose. No, they don't flashback again. She just talks about the situation. They do flashback, actually. Sorry, and we see Marcella going into a place to help her. The doctor asks her a few questions. The doctor tells her what she needs to do. Gives her some medicine. It's Lexinix or something like that. I'm guessing it's a sleeping aid. The doctor says in all fucking caps, do not breastfeed while taking this medicine. You can guess what happens. But yeah. The boy doesn't understand. At least Miguel doesn't understand what's wrong with his mom. He doesn't think there's anything wrong with her, like, because you don't understand mental illness when you're a child. You really don't. And it isn't his place. It's not his place to. His father should have been the one who would be dealing with this, but his father is not good. What else? I guess we should go to the big reveal, right? I think you can tell what the big reveal is this episode. After the investigations, and I guess there was a part where Luis tried you see, if you've seen Luis Miguel through these years, you know how he deals with the press. He either avoids them or he lets them in when he needs them and guides the narrative in a way he wants it. And this one, they're probably planting you why he avoids them, because of a reporter he asked to come so he can tell his side of the story, and she doesn't. She basically yells at him for yelling at not liking his father. Lady, if you lived with that man, you wouldn't like him either, so sit your ass down. He blows up at the press, and not like huge blowing up, but he just tells them, "Y'all suck," and he walks out. Um, so the big reveal of this episode is the private investigator seems to have found her in Acapulco, some beach area in Cancun. Is it Cancun? Probably Cancun. Probably found probably quote found the mom because the um what's the word? What's the word? You found her. She said she found her because that's where she is, in an institution. That is the big theory that I have been hearing for decades. I guess not yeah, decades actually. Holy crap! It's been almost 2 decades of the 2000s. But it's like the theory that she's been locked up in an insane asylum this whole time. It's pretty sad if that's the real case. Is it worse than murder? Is it worse? I don't know. You tell me. That's that's the big reveal. That is that, and she sends him a picture through fax. Um, but the picture isn't clear enough, so it could be another red herring. Who knows? Also, like, congratulations, Mexico, for beating Germany. Holy shit, did you avenge all the Latin American football teams from the last Mundial who were massacred by the Germans? So, yay, Viva Mexico. Hope you win the Mundial. You deserve it. But I'm from Brazil. I'm not from Brazil, but I go for Brazil because I love that team. But I just say anybody that isn't Russia should win the Mundial. Just because fuck Russia. And so that was it. Tune in next week for next week's episode. It was fun. Like this week's episode was fun too. Not fun, but it was interesting too. I forgot to mention that he was doing a Luisito Rey, the dad, was doing a Milli Manili with a guy named Bosco and another guy that one of his secretaries introduced him to. He was doing a Milli Vanilli with him. And then the Bosco guy decided to sing a cappella. Boy, was that a giant mess. It was kind of hilarious. So I bid you farewell. My dragon energy bids you farewell. I swear to you, I'm not drunk. Maybe. See you. Dragon